in the chambers again. It's been a little while, actually, since we've all been together face to face. But we are here this evening. Tonight is, I believe, our last meeting of the Charter Revision Commission. I will say, as I commented to a couple of you earlier, when you first got here, that now it's May. It seemed like I wasn't sure what we were getting into way back in October at our first meeting, and now that it's the end of May, it seems like this has gone by really quickly. And actually, I think we've done a lot of really great work, and it's been good. I really appreciate all of you and all of your time and reviewing all this stuff. But it's gone by quick. It's been good. It's kind of hard to believe. But anyway, so I guess why don't we go ahead and we can do our administrative matters quickly. Our plan for tonight is to review our final report, do a final vote on our report, and hopefully adjourn. I say rather somewhat quickly. I'm sure we have a lot of discussion on that, but then we can kind of enjoy ourselves for a little bit too. So with that, administrative matters. First, we need to approve the minutes from the April 20th meeting. And any of the members have comments? Yes, Mr. Fleckenstein?
I have no comments.
All right, can I get a second?
To approve the minutes.
Second, Mr. Snow. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great. All right, minutes approved for April 20th, all right, May 10th meeting. Any comments or changes to those minutes?
No. To accept those minutes as well.
All right, Mr. Fleckenstein, can you get a second? Mr. Telford, great. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great, awesome. All right. Great. Now we have Mr. Kaufman is back with us this evening. He's going to come and join us tonight since he's invested so much time with us so far. I'm sorry, and I should have said in the very beginning, and I forgot. Ms. Hangleiter, she is not able to join us this evening. She was disappointed not to be here, but she is working on a big event. It's actually a barbecue event, and it's a charity fundraiser that she is working on. So I told her that I would share the information. It's this Saturday, and it's raising funds for two different charities. So I'll send that with you. So it looks like a really nice event. So I'll send that on to you. All right. The next item of business is our final report. So maybe Ms. Blair Klassmeyer, I'll turn it over to you. You can kind of walk us through the report.
Sure. Oh, there we go. Hopefully it's turned on. Oh. I guess it won't come any closer, so I'll have to go like this. Okay. So this report, if I remember correctly, we kind of walked through it at our last meeting. Since then, there were some changes that Ms. Mansfield recommended, a couple things, small things that Mr. Enright recommended. The version that you have should be redlined to show the changes from the report that was presented at the last meeting. So I think, unless anybody has an objection, we can just kind of go through the red lines. The first page, we did make a red line to show when Mr. Kaufman's membership period, as well as Mr. Enright's membership period. On first page, the introduction, we did include a sentence to say that the commission voted to appoint Andrea Mansfield as chair and Tori Snow as vice chair. And also there's another red line to include the approved minutes of the commission's meetings as Appendix C. They are going to be referred to at times within the report. So then a section was added at Ms. Mansfield's suggestion for a meeting summary, which has a little brief description of each meeting that was held and what was considered at each meeting. We then we're up to page 4, and we get into the specific issues. And one of the things we discussed at the last meeting when we looked at the report was including the votes for each of the recommendations. So as to issue number 1, the vote is included, as well as a sentence concerning, this is the issue of increasing the number of districts. The commission discussed additional staffing needs should the number of councilmatic districts be increased and the need for corresponding code changes. So that's been added to issue number 1. Issue number 2, the only change is to show that it was a 5-to-1 vote with 1 member absent. Issues 3, 4, and 5, which relate to the retirement benefits, full-time council members, and secondary employment. There was a modification to the recommendation and this is the recommendation that was later in this narrative, but to replace the outdated reference to the dollar amount with a statement that the compensation shall be in accordance with the recommendations of the Salary Standard Commission. And then Ms. Mansfield expanded on the discussion and consideration concerning whether it was appropriate for the matters to be addressed in the charter. And the vote was 6-to-1. That is specified here to leave this in accordance with the recommendations of the Salary Standard Commission. On issue number 6 and 7, these were budget-related issues. The change is to show that the vote was 5-0 with 2 members absent in favor of the recommendation of no change. And then there was a change that I made because I said decrease when it should have said increase. So I put increase in there. On number 8, again, this was the grants under the Community Benefit Program. The only change is to add that the vote was 5-0 for the recommendation of no change with no members absent. Issue number 9, these are Ms. Mansfield's changes concerning the discussion at the meeting about the income tax limit. And a sentence to show that the county has the 3rd lowest income tax rate in the state. Talbot and Worcester have the lowest rates, and all other jurisdictions have rates above 3%. And again, there is a sentence added to reference the 4-3 vote in favor of the recommendation. Issues 10 and 11 deal with the fire chief and the volunteer companies.
Actually, Ms. Blair, how about we stop there?
Sure.
Because we have an actual, because that's where we kind of have an outstanding issue that we need to discuss and actually vote on.
10 and 11, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one. So maybe for issues 1 through 9, do members have any comments, questions, suggested changes? Accurately reflects what we discussed.
Not other than the red line changes, no. I think the red line changes are appropriate and consistent with what we discussed and satisfactory.
Okay, great. Okay, just wanted to make sure before you moved on. Okay, thanks. Go ahead.
Okay, so 10 and 11, again, are the related to the volunteer fire companies. And there are some suggested changes here with a little more explanation of hearing from the volunteer fire companies during the meeting on May 10th. And in relation to the Fire Advisory Board. And then there's a paragraph added concerning the explanation for the recommendation of no change, being that the Fire Advisory Board and the reciprocity agreements currently exist, and the Commission recommends these mechanisms be examined for potential changes to address matters of concern, but that it not be any type of change to the charter. Did you want to stop there?
Yeah, maybe we can stop here. I think all of us, I know we've had quite a bit of correspondence back and forth. I know I've heard from a few different members of the volunteer fire companies on this issue. But I think even more as we've heard more and as we've gotten more letters of correspondence that have, I guess been counter to some of the testimony that we've received here as well, I think that really really more even solidified it for me that this is not an issue that we should be including in the charter. I think it's something, which is what I tried to reflect in this, and part of the recommendation, that this is really something, there is a fire advisory board in statute, there are reciprocity agreements, and that would be the appropriate place, whether it's through policy changes, should there be legislative changes to change the membership of the fire advisory board, but I think that's something for others in the county working with the volunteer fire departments to kind of figure out and address, and not include that language here. So, is everyone comfortable with that?
The only thing I would add is it's, we've gotten quite a bit of additional information since we all met to consider, and certainly I appreciate that. I think we've probably all looked that over. I haven't seen anything for me personally in either, and of course some of the information that we received was conflicting, right? Different points of view, volunteer career and some others. I think there's a more of an issue or a discussion, I don't want to say conflict if that's not really an accurate interpretation, but amongst those that it impacts the most, there's clearly still a lot of area for discussion and a lot of points that they need to hash out amongst them. So I feel even better, candidly, with the decision that we had the last time to not recommend any changes, and that these issues would be best addressed through further legislation, operating agreements, and the like.
Okay. All right, so given that, so I guess if everyone's comfortable with what we have in the report, when we go ahead, can I get a motion then to approve the language that's in the report in this moment?
A second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank you.
So was that 7-0 that I can insert into the report?
Like it's 6-0.
Oh, 6,
Yeah.
yes, sorry.
One absent. Yes.
One absent. All right. Okay. Okay.
And I guess I would also thank the fire chief. Thank you for being here in case we had questions or needed any additional clarification. We really appreciate it.
Issue 12 was the fire tax. The narrative, the recommendation that I have is no change, and I think that's what the discussion was. However, I'm not sure that it was actually voted upon. There's no vote. There was no vote in the minutes, I believe. But the
Okay.
fire tax is not something that there is no charter provision relating to the fire tax, and this report sets out kind of the historic language concerning dedicating tax revenues at their source. So.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I think you were chairing the meeting. Actually, I remember.
Sure, we
I'm pretty
took a vote on that, but
Yeah.
I guess we could do
We
another
want to
one
take
just
another
for clarity.
vote real quick. All right, then could I get a motion for no changes with respect to the fire tax?
So moved.
Mr. Snow? Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so again,
Okay.
6-0, one absent. Yeah.
Madam Chair, may I just remind everybody to please turn on your mics when you are speaking? The live stream that's going out cannot hear anything that's being said in here unless your mic is on, so I would appreciate if everybody kind of was diligent in following that. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And let me just make sure I got this right. One member was absent. Okay, so the next issues, whoops, I went past them, are 13 and 14. This is relating to the emergency ordinance and the sections that relate to emergency ordinances. There is suggested language on this, and the only red line would be to insert the vote. Again, did not seem to be one in the minutes.
Really? Okay. Okay.
And the suggested language will be included in Appendix A.
Okay. So given that, I guess, is everyone comfortable with the language in the report as well as the suggested language in the appendix? And we went through this a few times. Right. So can I get a motion to approve the recommendation in the language?
Can I ask a clarifying question, please?
Yes.
We don't have the vote in here. Weren't these all related? Weren't these all 6-1? We seem to have 6-1 as the vote for number 15. Did we vote on all three of those together?
I don't think so because, well, I don't think so. I think
Okay.
15 probably would have been voted on at the same meeting. However, that one is the whole notion of the fact that that was civil emergencies, not emergency legislation, and civil emergencies are covered in the code and not the charter. So I think that was a separate discussion.
Okay.
Kind of vaguely remembering the civil emergencies discussion. Was that one of the issues early on that we took off the table for discussion?
That's what I was thinking.
I think we
is
took that off the table when we
grabbed
had-
a bunch of them earlier on.
Yeah, I think that was an earlier discussion.
Okay.
I think it was I think we thought there was some overlap as well.
That's certainly
with
possible.
The other,
That could be.
two.
Yep.
If you guys are remembering it that way, that makes sense.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we did vote on issues 13 and 14, but that's okay. It's,
Happy to clarify.
yeah.
So I can make the motion to approve it.
Okay, great. All right, thank you, Mr. Snow. Can I get a second to approve?
That's as to 13 and 14?
13 and 14.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Fleckenstein. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. 15, there was a little bit expounding on the reason why there was no recommendation and that this should not be an issue related to a charter, and then the vote of 6-1 was added into this paragraph.
Is everyone comfortable with the description for that language? Okay. Great.
Issue 16 is the gender neutral. While there isn't a vote here, the recommendation is to make change to the affected charter sections. I think we discussed this, and the notion being that we're going to try to come up with a way to do it globally without having to go through every single section that has a he or him, he, him, or his. And the only exception was 302 of the charter, which relates to chairman. And we said chairman should be changed, and there is suggested language in Appendix A. But there were no changes to the actual report since the last time it was submitted.
Okay, great. All right. Can I get a motion to approve the recommendation for issue 16?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Snow. Can we get a second?
Second.
Mr. Telford, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right.
And on the other comments and recommendations, Charter Section 307H, we added that this was by unanimous vote, that we get rid of the bulletin board and allow posting on the website. I'm sure Kaylee is very happy about that one.
It's the 20th century.
Yeah, exactly. And as Mr. Enright pointed out, for Charter Section 1202, it's actually Charter Section 1203. And we also include the fact that it was a unanimous vote to tie the commission appointment to the census itself and not the release of the results of the census. There's also a paragraph added concerning equity, diversity, and inclusion analysis, and a recommendation that county officials keep these items in mind, not mine, when making appointments and considering and deciding other matters. And then the conclusion, Ms. Mansfield just emailed to me, and I have added in here her conclusion for the report.
And I guess I'll read it really quickly because somebody may if you want to add something add to it. I just have the CRC has appreciated the opportunity to consider and recommend changes to the county's charter. The CRC would like to sincerely thank county and council staff that assisted and participated in this process. All of you played a meaningful and significant role in this process, which was critical to the CRC completing its work. Anything else you'd like me to, Mr. Enright?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'd just like to go back to the now Section 1203 reference and recommend a change to the title and adding the words redistricting and charter decennial redistricting and charter revision commission.
Okay. Yeah, I know that was something we discussed.
Yeah.
I think it was the last meeting or the one before. Okay.
It's just a housekeeping thing. Since we did not agree to split the commission up as other counties have done and retain the commission as is, changing when it's appointed with reference to the census, and then just adding that other task.
Okay, great. All right. So, Mr. Enright, you're making the motion to make that change
I
in
move
the
to
report?
include redistricting and Charter Revision Commission in the title.
Give a second.
And that's in 1203.
Second.
Second. Thank you, Mr. Waddy. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So I would be adding a sentence that says, by unanimous vote, the commission also recommends that the commission be referred to as the Redistricting and Charter Review Commission. That sound right?
The Charter Revision.
Oh, Charter Revision. You're
Right.
No, Charter Revision.
Yeah, the only change is the 1202 to 1203, and adding the word redistricting, decennial redistricting and Charter Revision Commission.
So, Ms. Blair Kosmeyer, do we need to vote on Charter Section 311C dealing with the auditor?
I don't have a vote there. So, and I'm not sure that it was voted upon. Could go back and check the minutes. But my guess is it wasn't, but
Okay. And you can just go ahead and vote on it if it makes it easier.
agenda minutes.
Which one are we
That
on?
was early on
Charter
in
Section
the,
311C dealing with the auditor?
thought I looked at that again.
Oops.
That was one of the first couple meetings, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I have that in front of me. Oops.
Sorry, I just...
Yeah, I think so. The language that is proposed in here, so the county council shall have the power to implement the provisions of this section and to assign additional functions, duties, and personnel to the county auditor. If we're striking not consistent with those provided herein, but we're adding in related to the finances and financial affairs of the county.
Yeah, I see it was on February 14th. She gave an overview, further discussion between the commission regarding the audit department, and that was basically it. Okay. So there was no vote. I think what occurred was I said I would come up with language and bring it back to the commission. So, and that language is in the appendix.
So are commission members comfortable with the recommendation and the language
Yep.
being added for consideration?
Yep, Madam Chair, I think the addition, the taking out of the ambiguous language and then adding in some more specificity relating the duties specifically to financial, I think that's a good call, and I approve. I endorse that.
Okay, right. All right, then can I get a motion to approve the recommendation to add the auditor language to the report? Mr. Enright.
So moved.
All right, and a second.
Second.
Mr. Telford. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, and I think, so, Mr. White, I know the paragraph on equity, diversity, and inclusion, do you have comments or suggestions on that? No. Or do you want to?
No. No, I didn't have anything. It looked good to me. I appreciate you adding language.
My own personal feeling about charters and constitutions, that I believe myself sincerely that they are frameworks for governing, and they are not repositories for statutes, however misfit, that they are frameworks for governing, and we should look at them like that. and not legislate in the charter, but through the charter and by the charter. That's the only comment I have.
Right, so now
That is correct.
okay, so I guess we should recess then for a few minutes.
Yes.
Okay. I have taken
Oh.
out the red lines.
Okay.
Save it first.
Okay.
I will send it to Kaylee. Is that, and then you'll send it? Okay.
Okay, well, maybe we don't need a recess if it's that quick.
It's not that quick. I need to make sure that all the font and everything is the right size, so it will take me a brief moment. I do need to print copies for you all, and you all need to review the actual hard copies before you can take a vote. So if you can give me about 5-10 minutes, that would be
Yep.
super.
Okay, sounds good. All right, then we'll short recess. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Schultz. All right, we're going to reconvene our meeting to give final approval to our report. All right, I guess if everyone just wants to take a minute to flip through. So what about, I'm sorry.
Well, I
Mr.
have a
Flecken,
question on the appendices. Are they going to be included separately, or?
I'll pull up Appendix A. I think the others are just copies of the minutes. I think it was the minutes and the agenda. Is that what B was?
And Ms. Blair-Plassmeyer, I just wanted to ask about the introduction, about the commission submitted a preliminary statement on redistricting on, the dates aren't filled in.
Aren't filled in. Yep. I have those in here. And I guess it should be dated, the report itself, either today or tomorrow. Is that
Has to be today, right?
today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
I know it was our January 10th meeting is where we approved the redistricting report.
January,
January 10. And I guess, what was it, December 28th is when we did the preliminary approval?
That's correct.
okay.
Yes.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when we approved the 3 plans. And then, then on the 10th, we did the final approval for the report.
Yeah, that January 10 looks right also.
Okay. Let me pull up the.
And then we had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
And then it was during 8 meetings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't see an I think that the reference to the minutes should be Appendix B. I don't see an Appendix B. And you sent me, use this version. Okay. Let me double check.
Yeah, and then it would be during 8 meetings, including meetings on January 24th and May 10, at which public testimony was received.
We only did 8 meetings?
Yeah, we had let's see, we had January 10th, 10th, the 24th, 2, 14th, 3, February 28th, 4, March 14th, 28th was canceled. We had the 20th of April, May 10, and May 31.
So 8 meetings, including meetings on, I know May 10th. What was the other one? I'm sorry.
January 24. You're saying it was more painful than that? It seemed like it was a lot more.
It seemed like when we were doing redistricting, particularly the beginning, we did a number of them in relatively quick succession. I just would have
this
thought that-
report, this is just reflecting the charter discussions. It's not including the redistricting meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, include the 16 issues on its agenda. I got you.
Yeah.
See, too many lawyers.
And I need to change. Yeah, that should be Appendix B. So there are two appendices. One is the language, which I will forward now to Kaylee, and the other is will be the minutes, the approved minutes.
Then do we need to review the report with the appendices and the approved minutes? I mean, we've already approved all the minutes. I'm not sure.
I'm sending the appendix.
Okay.
I don't have the minutes scanned. I have them all except, I have them put together, but I don't have them scanned. And let me see what the last ones I have are. I do have them
I'm
up
not
through May 10th.
necessarily saying that we need to do that. I was more of a question. I mean, I think we've already approved the minutes, so I'm not sure why we would need to approve those again.
I agree.
And we've
I think
approved in some of the votes today and otherwise, we've approved the language in Appendix A.
All right. So therefore, we really don't need to have this printed out again. I mean, I know we just added in some dates and numbers of meetings, but I think we're all in agreement of adding those things, correct?
Yes, I would agree.
All right.
I just sent you Appendix A. And what I will do in the report is I will do pages that just say Appendix A, that can be inserted behind, and then Appendix B, that this can be inserted behind. Is that?
And I guess we can also give final approval to the report with the caveat that we also agree that staff can ensure that appendices and numbers and things line up accordingly in the final review of the report.
Ministerial changes are fine.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, we will make sure that happens.
Okay. So are you guys good with, we can go ahead and take our final vote then? Or?
Has everybody had a chance to review the hard copy and satisfied with it? Okay.
Great. All right, then can I get a motion to approve our final Charter Revision Commission report and recommendations?
So moved.
Second.
Second, Mr. Fleckenstein. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Great. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. All right.
Done.
All right, so for other business this evening, I guess one is sincerely, I really do want to thank all of you. It's been really good to work with you, getting to know some of you, or I can say some, all of you. And I think I'm really pleased. I think we've worked together pretty well. I know we had a couple issues where we did have some disagreements and some different votes, but I think all in all, we really kind of pulled together and did a great job. We got our reports done. Our redistricting report done timely. I think this report we got together. We did extend a little bit just to give us sufficient time and get appropriate public input and comment, which I think we needed to do. But it's been a really great process. I've really enjoyed doing this with all of you working on the committee. So thank you.
I agree, and I thank all of you here. I think everybody here contributed to making this process collegial, to making it, I think, credible. Obviously, there was some debate on certain issues. I think we would all expect that. But I think in this day and age, I think candidly we all should be pleased and proud of the work we did here. There was not rancorous political discourse. There was not personal attacks. We were able to put together recommended maps unanimously on the new election districts that, as I understand it, I think the council accepted unanimously. So I think that's a testament to everybody that's up here and all the staff that supported us. And I think that I'm proud that we're able to do it in that fashion, again, particularly in this day and age. And I commend each and every one of you and thank you all for working with all of us in that capacity.
And I'll add that all of this took place in unprecedented, chaotic times and unbelievable, schedules. We had virtual meetings, in-person meetings, and honestly, it's things like this that I think would restore most people's faith in the ability of the American system of government to operate. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of it, for allowing us to have these discussions. I learned a lot,
For sure.
being in the proximity of attorneys and experienced county staff. I learned an unbelievable amount from the county staff. That was the highlight for me, was just the breadth of knowledge and just learning about this county and wanting to be a part of it, going forward. So thank you all for a really, really productive experience.
Great. And I guess we should say, and also thank you to the staff, big time. Lori, you were incredible, tremendous help, greatly appreciate all of the time you invested. And I know there's several other county staff members that are not here this evening, but really appreciate all of their time as well. And actually was why I think Laura and I kind of alluded to this a little bit. And of course, when I sent out correspondence just about to meet tonight and preparing for the meeting, that we were talking about doing a happy hour, and hopefully everyone would have a chance to attend, really to thank the county staff. I know, unfortunately, the planning staff and the GIS staff, they put in so much time and effort back in October, November, and December, and we really didn't have a celebration at that time to really thank them, and didn't want them all to come back at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night. I didn't think that was really the way to say thanks. So hopefully we can find a time to really say thank you in a more appropriate manner for all of them.
I just want to give a big shout out to Andrea and Tori for shepherding us through these 8 months. Has it been 8 months? 7 or 8 months?
Feels longer.
So I think it went by quick. Now that we're through it, I'm like, oh, okay.
You folks did the work of 2 committees if you listen to me, so.
Thank you. Yeah, and little did I know Tori was going to suggest me at the first meeting. I was like, really? I'm like, I don't know about that now. Mr. Enright, I know your light is on also. Did you have?
No, I just want to endorse what everybody has said, and I want to thank you for including me as to use a baseball metaphor, as the closer again 10 years later, to referencing a sport that I love. It's been my honor to serve in both commissions, even though it was as the reliever and the closer. I worked with so many good people, and the staffs, their contribution cannot be underscored. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I really, really, really appreciate working with the staffs and with all of my colleagues here for both virtually and in person. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you for filling Mr. Kaufman's shoes. I greatly appreciate all of your insight and so too. Very, very helpful. All right. Well, with that, so yes, we do have refreshments.
Not quite yet.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
I get to talk now.
Okay.
Sorry, I know. Fun hors d'oeuvres are being served afterwards. But on behalf of the council, the Anne Arundel County Council thanks you for serving on the Decennial Charter Revision Commission for Anne Arundel County. You are commended for your extraordinary work and your staunch commitment to the council and the citizens of Anne Arundel County, and we have a citation for each one of you. And I believe Pete Barron, the Government Affairs Officer, will also say a few words, and he also has a citation to present.
Thanks, Ms. Schultz. For the record, Pete Barron. I think I've watched every Charter Revision Commission meeting. I know the county executive really appreciates the work all of you have done, Madam Chair and Mr. Vice Chair especially. So we have a citation for all of you, including Mr. Kaufman. It's an executive citation. To the residents of Anne Arundel County, salute. Andrea Mansfield, Chair, in recognition of your outstanding dedication and service to the Anne Arundel County Charter Review Commission. Your contributions to the community stand on their own merit and serve as a record of your unwavering commitment to the residents of Anne Arundel County. So thank you all, and we have one of these for everyone.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Barron. Appreciate it. Now we can. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So, we have refreshments outside in the reception area. So, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Awesome. All right. So, Larry, I hope you're hungry.
Wow.
I don't want to take the stuff back home.